opportunities throughout the state of Connecticut. When Governor Lamont was choosing his commissioners, he sure picked a knowledgeable lady for this commission. Commissioner Selah Masquerade Bruno brings a wealth of knowledge to the Department of Housing. Prior to her appointment, she was the President and Chief Operating Officer of the Mutual Housing Association of South Central Connecticut, also known as NeighborWorks New Horizons. The Commissioner has a vast and extensive experience in advocating for affordable housing in the state of Connecticut and on a national level. She serves as board chair of Connecticut Housing Finance Authority, a board member of the Council of State Community Development Agencies and Capital Region Development Authority, and has served on many other boards. The Department of Housing, under the Commissioner's leadership, has provided the funding needed to renovate the home of Susie's house to its new enhanced model. You'll hear more about the model later on in the programme by our Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of the State of Connecticut, Selah Masquerade Bruno.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be here. Helen has asked me to be the keynote speaker for this event. I don't know why, but nevertheless, really it's an honor to be here. So lovely lady, and you look all amazing in this beautiful place. So my role at the department is the Commissioner of Housing. What is the Commissioner of Housing? We provide funding. We promote policies that are pro-housing. I usually I don't call it affordable housing, I call it housing, quality housing and efficient that is affordable to all. Not only to the ones that are with minimum wages, but people also that wants to move on to be homeowners. So we come from rental to homeownership. Just to have a sense of what the department, because it will take a long time, what the department has in the finance that we provide. Provide about $1 billion in, we have grants, different type of programs that we do have. Federal, we receive money from the federal government, we receive money from the state. We finance projects, development, builders, that's my background. I'm not a politician. I used to tell the governor, I don't know why you hired me, because I did not work for him in his campaign, I did not know him. He invited me to be on his administration because of what I have been doing in affordable housing as a developer. So, well, also my other role with the governor is that I'm the board chair of the Connecticut Housing Finance Authority. That organization is about $6 billion, and as they have assets, they do a lot of loans. They work with banks, they sell bonds, taxable bonds in the market, and then they use those revenues to do more housing. So overall, that's my role in the state. Go everywhere, helping towns, municipalities, cities. What are the technical assistance that we can provide to those towns? I'll tell you just, I have 10 minutes, so that's kind of like 2 minutes. But let me tell you just a little bit about me, who Selah is, and why Selah is here today. I'm an immigrant, if you haven't noticed my accent. I'm from Ecuador. Yay! I came here when I was 23 years old. I have a daughter. And I came to the state with a suitcase full of dreams and a bag of hopes. But when I came here, I don't know if any of you saw the movie New in Town. When she opened the door, when she came out from the airport, and it was so cold in Missouri, whatever she was. Well, that was me, because in Ecuador, in the city that I came from, is hot in the summer and it's hotter in the winter. So that was a cultural shock. Left my friends, left everyone. My mom was here. She immigrated when I was 12 years old. I grew up with my grandmother and my 3 brothers. So it was difficult. Didn't know the language. I had to go and learn English. I had to language. I had to work in a factory because I couldn't do anything else, although I was in college. But somebody, so today, because I have so many women here, I don't know if there is any men. No, right? So I wanted sorry about that. So the fact of the matter is that I'm here today because I had a strong woman that taught me how to be responsible. She taught me the values. And she also encouraged me about education. And for her, education was the path out of poverty with very humble beginnings. Grandma only went to 4th grade. But for her, being and going to school was something that we had to do. There was no choice. So when I came here and I had to start all over again, because now I don't know the language, I have to go back to school. So I went to school. In a factory, I had a lovely boss that he said to me one day, Sayla, you do not belong here. You need to go to school. So I went to school, started at the college with the ESL, and I have my boss at the college. They have this educational assistant. So you're in school and you also work at the school. And didn't put any parameters, right? I was just an educational assistant, but my boss didn't just tell me to file things. She allowed me to do more things than what I want to do, what I want to learn. And as a director of admissions, I looked up to her. I wanted to be a director, and I could pursue my education. I did my associates, I did my bachelor's, I did my master's, not jobs in the educational field. So once I needed to have a job, really job, because I had 2 part-time jobs. I had my daughter, and I was living in an apartment that was subsidized. That was the only thing that I could afford. So I went back to school and got my master's, couldn't find a job, so I ended up in the organization that I was there after for 20 years. Started as an intern and went all the way up to be the CEO of the organization. I started when I took that position with 10 people. I left it with 45. We had $100 million in assets. We have built about 600 apartments, with affordable rents, with the homeownership, and we also did after-school programs because many of the moms needed to have kids to do something. For us at the beginning was, let's keep the kids busy so that they don't destroy the apartments in the summer. But then it was actually, how can we improve their life and how can we promote education? But I did not do that alone. All that way, my boss, the director of admissions, Myrna, she helped me, she supported me. My ESL teacher, she was my boss too because I worked with her too. And she was also my cheerleader. You can do it. You can continue on. And then my first boss in an office, Martha, that she knew that sometimes I didn't have enough food to eat because I went from one job to run to the other job, and then I went to school at night. She would bring food, and she wouldn't say, I know that you didn't eat and you don't have food. She would say, hey, Sayla, come on, I have some food. You want some? At the break. I mean, she was so lovely. And today when I have the opportunity to talk to you guys and about the program that Homes with Hope, I learned the name, right? Homes with Hope provide for the Project Return Susie's House that will allow and will provide an opportunity to young women that does not have the support that many of us had. I had an informal support system. I wasn't in an organization that was providing what I needed. I had those families and those friends that became my family. Up to today, they are my friends because they were a very important part of my life. They helped me. So nobody does anything alone. We all do it together. So, and the fact that today you are here helping this organization, supporting the organization, it says a lot to this community of women that are here and want to help. And the moment that you step in, you say, I'm here, Helen. How can we help? So I really want to thank all of you, the volunteers, the presence that you bring. And of course, I'm not going to forget the designers, all the creativity. I mean, I looked around, and I hope you guys, I have 2 that I want to So don't win it from me. I mean, the creativity and you giving your gift. What a wonderful thing to give the gift that you know what to do to help the organization. So I'm gonna leave it there. I think I need 10 minutes. But before I leave, I want to just read a quote, and it's a short quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. And it says, a woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong it is until it's in hot water. Thank you very much.
And before I start, I would just like to ask for a round of applause for our commissioner. My name is Harris Mooney. I am the Vice President and COO of Homes with Hope. I just want to say welcome and thank you for coming. This is real bad for me. Just a few words about Project Return. Just as Project Return has supported young women for more than 30 years, the newly renovated program will continue to stand as a beacon of light to guide women in life's journey with the crossing of its threshold. Project Return at Susie's house will encompass all the warmth and welcome that Westport has to offer. With professional and dedicated staff and a multitude of volunteers, the women will increase their coping skills and have the opportunity for self-discovery and renewal, free from the burden of homelessness. This affordable, longer housing opportunity and supported housing opportunity will provide the space the women need to release worry and fear and decide the future path of their choice in a safe and stable environment. For many homeless women, having a door to lock and a bathroom of their own offers privacy and safety to heal the invisible wounds of the past. At this time, I would like to introduce you to Carmen Ayala, who will be the new program director of Project Return at Susie's house. Carmen? So, just a few pointers on the updates to Project Return at Susie's house. And that will include 6 ensuite bedrooms with kitchenettes for apartment-style living, shared kitchen and community room to encourage camaraderie, socialization, and community engagement. The basement will be finished to support health and self-care, office space for private case management support. We will have a priority for at-risk, vulnerable young women aged 18 to 24. Residents will learn important life skills which will help them gain confidence and self-worth. The house will also be ADA compliant, and we are super excited about it. Thank you. Now, I would like to share a short video of a former resident, Maya.
Hi, guys. Hi. I hate doing this. This is not my thing, but as probably a quarter of the room knows, I have a massive mouth. And we had a lot of beautiful meetings with these just wow women, and we came up with some ideas. I came up with a little idea, and everyone looked at me and said, "You're doing the appeal," so here I am. I just got to say, and I'm sure you're all feeling it, and I never felt like this in all the years, 9 years we've been coming to this. It was a party at 11:30. Like a party. I've never seen it here before. Probably don't know either, we didn't have to advertise. This went up for a day. to the people who had been here before, filled up, gone. You guys came? Amazing. So though I'm terrified to be doing this, I can't explain how I feel about what's happening at the house right now. And Paris talked a little bit about it, but what's really going on is this is going from a home where you go in and out of rooms and you have your room to a real apartment living. And these are women 18 to 24 years old. So these are women who need their space, they need their privacy. And a lock on the door, it means so much if you're trying to change your life, have that time, have that safe space. So we're at the precipice of what I think is the most exciting thing that Project Return has ever done. I think that the house is different than it's ever been, and I think it has it could change lives in the biggest way that I've seen. So we have these changes. We're going to do this together, and today, actually, surprise, this is a housewarming party. Because now we're building 6 homes together. Each apartment is going to have a bathroom, it's going to have a kitchenette, and we're going to fill out this stuff together. So on your table, you're going to see a QR code. That QR code, we've actually lowered the prices, so you can give $75, you can give $250, you can give $10,000 if you want that, because dishwashers and washing machines are very expensive. But what you're going to have today is you're going to have a piece of that house that you actually put in there. We all live in special homes. I live in a barn. You may live in a big, beautiful mansion. You may live in an apartment because you're sick of taking care of a yard. But all of our homes are filled with really important things. They're filled with stuff. But that stuff came from places that mean things to us. For me, I have 2 things in my home that I look at every day that weren't a fortune. One of them is a gold vase that sits on my dining room table that my friend Allison Dembo gave me when I moved into my barn. And when she bought it for me, there's flowers in it all the time, every night. And I don't think she would realize that it was going to be the cornerstone of our family meals every single evening. The other thing is Liz Ziegler walked into Home Goods or somewhere and saw drawer liners and thought, September has to have those. So now every time I take out a fork, I think of everything I've done with you to take out the fork. Sorry, I shake when I talk. But these items, they were put there by people in our lives. We've created nurseries for our children. We've created apartments for our children. And you think about all those things that you picked out for your kids, for your parent that you had to put in a home, and what those are going to mean for them. So today, for $75, you could buy that lamp that's going to be at the table next to the woman who finally has a space of her own, who can go to bed and lock that door, and she can get into the sheets that you helped buy to make her own bed tonight. I want to draw a stark picture of what it's like to walk into that house for the first time as a woman who's joined our community. She's going to be greeted not now with just a bed and a kitchenette to make a cup of coffee before she has to go out and see other people. She's going to be greeted by a basket on that bed, and that basket is going to have a razor, it's going to have soap, it's going to have deodorant, it's going to have things in it that we never think about not having. Not only do we get to give them that, they're walking in with nothing, but now they're walking into a home of their own. They're going to have a lease. They're going to learn how to use leases. They're going to decide if they want to renew that lease. The ownership that's going to happen at Project Return this time, very different than before. And they're going to be able to start building their lives. So I'm inviting you today. There's QR codes on the table. And I'm inviting you today to help us buy the plates that are going to be on the kitchen table when you drive by that house on Capo, because it's all of our house. And maybe 2 women are sitting there sharing something they've never shared with someone before in their entire life. And you guys can make that happen that morning. So please help us today in however it works. And I want to share something that happened this morning. It's one of the reasons why I'm shaking. I had to meet a friend this morning on the way here really quickly. And not only did she ask me, like, why are you wearing a dress? But she asked where I was going, and I told her what was happening. She knows about Project Return. She's been very good to our organization. And I said, do you know what's happening in there? And I told her what's happening. I told her about the apartments. I told her that when you walk in now, there isn't going to be an office there so that you're reminded that you're a part of the system. You're gonna walk into a living room with someone that you know or you haven't met. You're gonna go up to your apartment and you're gonna make yourself that cup of tea before you go downstairs and join the group. And she just wept. I mean, when I tell you she wept, this is a woman who I hug and I make her hug me. She's not a hugger. And it turns out her daughter had been in and out of homes like this for the last 4 years. I'm very good friends with her, but we don't know a lot of the details of each other's life. And she talked about the idea of having a lock on the door. And she talked about the idea that she gets to turn in at night and maybe sit at her desk and share with someone what she's been experiencing lately or plans that she's going to make a cup of tea. And she said, hold on a second, and she just wrote me a $1,000 check. It's sitting in my desk right now. And for her to feel like she's a part of something that touched her family, not someone I would have thought, you just don't think. You don't know if it's going to be your daughter or your friend's daughter. And I just couldn't believe that happened right here today. It was really, to think that somebody that you just known for so long and you happen to have coffee with, that their family is using something like this. So from near or far, they need this. That's about it. Go onto your Wi-Fi, and there's a Shorehaven guest Wi-Fi that will make it a lot easier. But thank you. Even if it's a little bit, you're adding something to this house and you're warming the house. Thank you so much.
I'm Karen Spiris, and this is Alison Jumbo, and we are the co-chairs of the designer table.
We want to thank the designers. You guys did the most amazing job. I think this takes the cake every year. Amazing job. Your time, dedication, creativity was incredible. So let's announce the winners.
So we're going to do winners.
Yay.
Okay.